Shalom, Rakta Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Rakakwadash. Just want to touch on something real quick. Is We deal with a lot of spiritual wickedness in high places right now, so I just want to go over some about praying and praying, whatever you want to call it, praying and fasting. Like Isaiah 19, if you will. Right now, it's a very wicked time. As this dollar finna crash, Jacob's trouble coming, Babylon about to be judged, etc. And it's a lot of wickedness out here, right? And I know a lot of our peoples, they remove a lot of these scriptures from the Bible. We don't understand that the Most High, number one, for time's sake, I'm going to be short. The Most High only hears the prayers of the Israelites. And what that means is the Hebrews, right? Yeah, we all Hebrews. By now, if you don't know if your parents was on that slave ship, grandparents, or already here, because we know the indigenous people or the Indians, which means us as well. Cherokee, Choctaw, all that. We know that, okay? The Most High only hears us. So we're all Hebrews by blood, but we Israelites by keeping the commandments. What I mean is the Most High only hears the prayers of the Israelites. It has nothing to do with a church. It has nothing to do if you Pentecostal, Baptist, Christian, evangelist. It has nothing to do with the religion. The Most High deals with nations. So when our people understand that the Most High only hears us, he don't hear no other nation because he didn't go to them. He hears us. So we have to understand our power. You ain't got to do all this manifesting and burning sage and all this other wickedness like what's prophesied in Isaiah chapter 19. All right. So I just want to touch on that real quick. Okay. Well, let's go. I want to stay in John. Let's go. 1 John chapter 3. Everybody know where I'm going because we got to know the definition of sin. 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. I'll just highlight it. Whoever so committed sin. So a lot of people say he forgive us for our sins, sins, and all that, but we don't know the definition of sin. So we're going to get it straight from the horse's mouth. Whoever so committed sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. So if we was in school, we would say, teacher, what is sin? And we would stop, flip back through the dictionary, open up the thesaurus, do all that and say, oh, sin is transgression of the law. Christ already did, and after that. So if that's the case, what you praying for? God, please forgive me for my sins. You saying, God, please forgive me for breaking the law. But I thought the law was done away. You see that? Because religion got this stronghold on our people's brains. We can't think. That's why your pastor go to seminary school. He had to go to school. None of the prophets, disciples, we ain't have to go to school for that. The Most High put that spirit on us. You either got it or you don't. He either dealing with you or he not. You ain't supposed to go to school. What? Hey, can you imagine Paul and all them? I got to go to school from 8 to 5 over here at the school over in the Notre Dame and the cathedral. Man, get out of here. Anyway, so now we know what that is. Let's go back to John real quick. I'm going to try to bounce through quick. John 9. Let's go to 31. Now we know that Yahweh heareth not sinners. So we know in this whole context, I ain't gonna read the whole chapter. They in Jerusalem. This is only Hebrews talking together. That's it. They're not talking about the whole world. So in this next part of verse 31, when he says, if any man worship God, they ain't saying any man all out in the streets and in the next state or whatever. They talking amongst themselves. They talking about the Hebrews. So let me read it slow. Now we know that Yahweh heareth not sinners, because they were trying to tell some of the Hebrews who we were calling Gentiles, some of the Hebrews who were still calling themselves Greeks, Romans, like today. Some people still saying, I ain't no Hebrew, man. I'm black. I'm African American. I'm Negro. Y'all Hebrew by blood, dog. At the end of the day, same thing. It's like when we educate y'all, you're like, damn, now I know. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to celebrate birthdays. I didn't know that. This is what's going on. Now we know that Yahweh heareth not sinners. So if you're not keeping the law, the Most High don't hear your prayer anyway. But Satan does. White Jeebus does. But if any man be a worshiper of Yahweh, of God, and doeth his will, meaning keep the law, him he heareth. So, with that said, I was going into when we pray, right? There's certain things we can do to kind of enhance our prayer, right? Like, for just as an analogy, but like some women say, I wear makeup to enhance my beauty, because I heard that a lot. I ain't even gonna touch on that topic, but if we want to enhance our prayers, Israelites only, there's certain things we could do to get that prayer up there faster. It's like sometimes you got to go to urgent care or the emergency room, or it's not that important. You'll schedule a visit with your doctor. It can wait. This is why sometimes the Most High might answer your prayer the next day, within an hour, within 30 minutes. He might wait for 2 weeks because some of the stuff is not as urgent as we make it seem. But if you need to get something done at work, don't you flag that email like urgent, right? Don't you put a red receipt on it? All right. So same with our prayers. There's certain things we can do, and we can like, hey, nah, Abba Yahweh, yeah, I need you to handle this, not now, but right now, RAT. There's certain things we could do, and we can ask for help from the angels, which are our brethren. That's why the angels say they are our brethren, because they Hebrews too. It's filtered. Everything is about order. A woman can't skip around her husband and think she's going to go directly to the Most High with a prayer. It don't work that way. The Most High is all about order. Like Yahweh Shai, Christ is over all the other angels. It's order. They filter this stuff to get it to the Most High. All right? Matter of fact, let me just get right into that. So like this is part of why they move some of these out the Bible. So just go to Tobit, type in Tobit KJV, and it's gonna pop up. They moved this out because our forefathers, this is your uncle, your great uncle, and all that. They giving us game. See, some of them have met angels just like I have. They give us game and tell us exactly what to do in order to reach our Father. But we say, well, they took it out the Bible. Well, who is they? Stop listening to them. Them are these other nations. They don't want you knowing your own power. All right? Let's go to Tobit 12. We'll start at verse 8, and I'll just kind of read down. All right? Prayer is good with fasting. Fasting. This is why in the New Testament, if you will, Christ kept telling people to fast. Even after he died, the disciples, Mary, Joseph, everybody was still what? Fasting. Fasting is an Old Testament law. Proof that they were still keeping the law. You still fast when you're at church. That's an Old Testament law. You're atoning. You're afflicting your soul. So prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. By biblical definition, righteousness, if you don't know this, means the law. Okay, again, by biblical definition, righteousness is keeping the law. Okay? So prayer is good when you fast a little and you help people and you keep the law. That's what that means. Okay? So, matter of fact, just so I'm not just talking, we're gonna come back to that. All right, let's stay right there. Next, I'm gonna just keep that right there. Let me just go to it, because in case if somebody don't know what it is, I have to. I can't just leave that cliffhanger out there. Let's go to Psalms 119, so people know, and 142. Most Israelites know this by heart. All right, right there. Okay. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Right? And if you go back, if you go to something else, it's gonna say the truth is righteousness, etc. They flip back and forth, right? That's where I'm at right there if I need to highlight it for somebody. Right? So by definition, and then we go back to Tobit chapter 12, verse 9. For alms do deliver, verse 8. Prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. So you got you got to pray, fast, and keep the law and help people. A little with righteousness. So if you pray and help people and you just a little bit and you keep in the law, which is righteousness, is better than much with unrighteousness. So like we was in church and all that, We doing a fast today. The whole church fasting at sundown, but ain't nobody in there keeping the law. Soon sundown over, you gonna go get a McBiscuit from a chicken sausage and biscuit from McDonald's. You gonna go straight eat some pork. He's saying that's better than much fasting with unrighteousness. It's better to give alms than to lay up gold. You can stack, chase your bag, do all this, have 4, 5, 6 cars. But if you ain't gave one to one of your friends, you ain't helped nobody up, that means nothing to the Most High. Let's keep going. Verse 9. For alms, so helping people, meaning your fellow Hebrews, will deliver from death and shall purge away all sin. That goes back to brotherly love. The Most High care about more about you helping your own brothers and sisters, Hebrews, than your money it is. He's saying that can purge away everything you did. You used to jack people, used to rob people, you done shot at a few people, but you helped the old man next door. He didn't have a way to get groceries. You went to the grocery store for him and brought it back. And you didn't post it on social media. You did a back to school drive and got school supplies and you didn't post it all on social media. Look at us, look at me, woo woo, look at me. You went, bought the backpacks and the pencils and the erasers and all that yourself, and you just took it to the children. Your phone was in the car. They want to take photos. Nah, no thank you. Y'all make straight A's, and you walked away. It's a big difference from what the world showed today, right? Everybody want to post something. I'm going to keep going. In the middle of verse 9, those that exercise alms and righteousness, so those who help people and keep the law, shall be filled with life. But they that sin, we just got the definition of sin, are enemies to their own life. Now watch, this is where it's going to get very good here, so we got to understand how our prayers get up. Surely I will keep close nothing from you, for I said it was good to keep close the secret of a king, but that it was honorable to reveal the works of Yahweh. That's honorable, right? When you start telling people like, hey, this is how the Most High works, you know, if you do this and do this and do this, he'll hear your prayers more. Or if you don't do this, anyway, we'll get to that. Verse 12. Now, therefore, when thou didst pray and Sarah, thy daughter-in-law, I did bring the remembrance of your prayers before the Holy One. Tobit talking to an angel, right? Like many of the disciples and prophets and other of us here today have met. He talking to an angel, they face to face. He's saying, I did bring the remembrance of your prayers before the Holy One, before the Most High. And when thou didst bury, and when you buried the dead, I was with thee likewise. What they say in the movies today, oh, your guardian angel, all that BS, right? He's saying, nah, bro, I was with you the whole time. You feel like it's somebody in your house. You feel like the chariots are over you. But they of course they watching over us. That's what the scriptures say. Verse 13. And when you didn't delay to rise up and leave thy dinner to go cover the dead, thy good deed was not hid from me, but I was with thee. He's saying when you got up and do that, your wife just made you a hot meal, but you had to go, bury your grandma and do all that. Bro, I was with you. I know you was hungry. I know you ate all day. I know you was making $10 stretch a week, but you still got up and did that good deed. He said, bro, I'm with you. I see all of that. Verse 14, and now Yahweh, now God, has sent me to heal thee, to heal you and Sarah, your daughter-in-law. I am Raphael, one of the 7 holy angels, which present the prayers of the saints. The saints are the Israelites, which go in and out before the glory of the Holy One. He's saying, bro, I'm one of the angels that carry your prayers up and back to the most. We feel to that. Oh, hey, God, please let me hit the lottery. Man, the Most High ain't hearing that. But you on your knees, snotting, crying, praying. You about to be evicted. You done did this, but you trying. You going through affliction. They going to get that to the Most High's knees, ankles, thighs, ASAP. Hey, Shaniqua down here, yeah. She just started keeping the commandments. She's doing good. She took all the weave out of her head. She stopped eating shrimp, pork, lobster, crab. Hey. She getting afflicted and then she about to lose her job. What you want us to do? Handle it. Right? Verse 16. Then they were both troubled and fell on their faces, for they feared. Like it happened to us all when you meet an angel. You might think you crazy. But he said unto them, fear not, for it shall go well with you. Praise God, therefore. He didn't say praise me. He said, nigga, praise the Most High. He said, bro, y'all good. He said, bro, it's going to go well. Why? Because we run these prayers up and down every day. I know I kind of got a good feeling if he gonna say handle that, or if he gonna say, man, get out my face with that. You know what she did last week? She, she was at the strip club at the after hours joint turning up, pulling her thong all out. Nah, I ain't hearing her. See the difference? All right. So that's one of the things we could do. What he's saying is when you pray, you got fast, right? We should be fasting at least once a week, once a month, right now during this wickedness. Okay. Help people, your brother, your sister, help them, right? And at the same time, prayer, fasting, keeping the law. We should also be doing all of that. All right. Matter of fact, let me get one more. There's another one in there, just to give you an example of the Most High and how it works when you fast, you pray, and matter of fact, no, let's go back, because how he said he carries it up. Let's go to Sirach 30. I think it's 35. Let's go to Sirach 35. Ecclesiasticus 35. Right? Type that in. Just type KJV. It's gonna pull up. All right. Right. Let's go to verse 16. Right. He that serveth the Lord, right? So he that served the Most High, which we know the servants are, they only the Israelites. So he's saying that he who keeping the law, he who served the Lord shall be accepted with favor, and his prayer shall reach the clouds. So you could pray, and your prayer could stay down here on the surface level. Like your prayer ain't even went taller than the buildings downtown, bro. Your prayer way down here. The Most High ain't hearing that. It done got filtered. It done got filtered. But if you're doing right, it's going to pierce the clouds. Like I say in the book of Psalms, I believe. See, here it says it's going to reach the clouds. But sometimes it's urgent. It needs to pierce the clouds. It needs to go up through there, like right away. Right? Here it is, right here in 17. I wasn't even looking down. The prayer of the humble pierced the clouds. Right? The prayer of the humble pierced the clouds till it come nigh. He will not be comforted, right? And will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment. So these are some of the things we could do, right? Prayer, fast, alms, keep the law. So this is how they get the Most High not to hear us. Why God didn't come over here and stop slavery? Well, y'all still keeping the law? Yeah, y'all was singing Negro spiritual, swing low, sweet chariot. Yeah, but you was still stuffing them gator and shrimp and bottom feeders down your throat. Now, people say, well, we was in slavery. That's all we had to eat. The scriptures say you supposed to die before you eat that. Starve of death, nigga. I know it sounds harsh, right? But our forefathers did it. I ain't got to say forefathers. One of our matriarchs did it. So with all respect, right? Because, I love our brothers and our sisters, but man, if a woman could do it, you could do it. She did it. Her and her children. The little children did it. They got killed. They said, nah, we ain't finna eat that pork. That's in the book of Maccabees. He said, nah, we ain't finna eat that pork. Kill us. Because we know what the Most High would do to us is worse if we eat that piece of bacon. It's way worse. He said, then kill us. We'll die. We'll be right back. Yeah, that's something for something else though. Anyway, matter of fact, where was I talking about? Let's go to another one where one of the prophets did it. Nehemiah did it. That's the one I was looking for, Salakia. Nehemiah brought up the same thing. I think it's chapter 1. I think it's chapter 1. Chapter 1. Let's go start at verse 4. Nehemiah chapter 1, verse 4. And it came to pass when I heard these words that I sat down and wept and mourned certain days and fasted and prayed before Yahweh, and prayed before Yahweh, the Most High that's in heaven. Right? So he mourned, right? Remember, Most High said he's going to hear those of us who sigh and cry, right? He fasted and he prayed. He was already he was a prophet. Remember, in the prophet, there's found no guile. There's no guile found in the prophets. Meaning, the Most High like, nah, man, my prophets, they don't do no wrong. Well, he was over there at the nah, bro. I done wiped away their iniquity. I don't care what you say he did. He good. So Nehemiah was already keeping the law. He prayed, he fasted. Him praying is also alms. That's a form of alms. You praying for somebody, not the Christian way. Verse 5. And I said, beseech thee, O Yahweh Elohim of heaven, or Yahweh our power that's up in heaven, the great and terrible God that keepeth covenant and mercy for them that love him and observe his commandments. What did Christ say? If you love me, keep my commandments. If you love me, keep the law. It's real simple. If you love me, do it. Let thine ear now be attentive. So he did everything that we just read Toby was doing, and he begging like, yo, let your ear be attentive and thy eyes open, that you may hear the prayer of thy servant. So the servant are only the Israelites, which I pray before thee now, day and night, for the children of Israel, thy servants. So once again, the servants are only the children of Israel, only the Israelites. And confess the sins of the children of Israel, which we have sinned against thee. Both I and my father's house have sinned. We have dealt very corruptly against you, and have not kept the commandments, nor statutes, nor judgments, which you commanded your servant Moses. Look how many times he's telling you who the servants are. But how many of us, when we go in there and pray, right? We don't pray for everybody. He prayed for the whole nation. He said, no, everybody. Everybody. And then he said, both me. Let's go back to verse 6. Let me highlight that. That needs to be touched on. Look at that. He said, which I pray before thee now, day and night. I'm going to pray in the morning. I'm going to pray in the afternoon, evening, not for the children of Israel. I'm praying for the whole nation first. Look who he put first. He didn't put himself first. He didn't put his son or daughter first. He put the whole nation of Israel first, and confessed the sins of the children of Israel, right? And then he said, then he went to himself, both me and my fathers. Like, we got to confess the sins of us and our fathers. That's in Baruch. We got to confess the sins of us, your daddy, your grandfather, your mama, your grandparents. You don't know what. I always tell people this when they get mad at their children. I say, listen, think about your parents. You don't know what they went through to make sure you had that Nintendo. Now that you're a parent, you get it. You might have to borrow $40 from this person, go to work and take, shit from a boss you don't want to deal with, or do some unthinkable things. You don't know what your grandparents had to do to make sure you had them hand-me-down shoes. You don't know what they had to do. That's love right there. You praying for people. That's also faith. You're praying for people who some of us haven't met. You don't know what they done. You got to cover all of that. So anyway, I wanted it to be short. Just wanted to touch into it. I got several more precepts here, but look, prayer is good, meaning it's good with fasting, alms, and keeping the law. All of those combined, it's good. They take that out because we think, I prayed in the morning, but nigga, you just made bacon and eggs. The angels, they can't be in your house. It can't be, if we're not keeping the law, right, to the best we can, if you will, right? The angels can't be in our house. They can't be in your house. Can't be in your temple. Then righteousness, they say the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost, it can't be in your temple. You got a belly full of crab cake. So how is the angel, right? For an example, in Tobit's case, how is any one of those gonna take those prayers up to the Most High? You got to have a mediator, and Yahweh Shah is our mediator. Christ our mediator. He can't take that to the. Think of your job. Some of you might have to ask for authority for money or something. Oh, I need authority. And you can say, oh, well, what you need? I need, example, I don't know, 200K. Okay, great. You got to put something with that. You can't just say I need 200K. You're going to say I need 200K for blah, blah, blah. You got to give them something with it, right? You got to get, how you going to get a raise? I want a raise. Okay, well, let's look at your work history the last year. Let's look at what you've done. Your works is keeping the law. Your works. Your prayers, our prayers, they can't pierce the clouds. If you a man, if you laying around and you beating your meat all day, that prayer can't reach the Most High. It's dirty. It's filthy. The Most High might look at your Howard upside his head like, I know you ain't bringing me this nigga prayer. Same for a female. You done got 9 different bodies in 1 year. The Most High ain't trying to hear that. Well, all I'm saying is, look, pray, fast, help people, keep the law, clean it up, and it's going to hide a multitude of sins, right? We just read that in Tobit, right? That just helping people alone, doing that alone by itself, right? Salak, doing that alone by itself is going to cover a multitude of things. It's going to pretty much hide you from death. Verse 9, Tobit 12, verse 9, one more time, we close it out. For alms do it deliver from death, and shall purge away all sin, meaning all law breaking. Because that's what sin is, transgression of the law. Those that exercise alms and keeping the law shall be filled with life. But they that sin, they that break the law, we ain't got to do this. You are enemies to your own life, bro. You're like, what are you doing? This is why in the scripture he says, yo, choose life and live. Now we know there's a definition of life, keeping the law. Ain't that what Christ said? He said, choose life. He said, choose life and live, right? The Most High told us the same thing, right? He chose us the same thing. Matter of fact, look at verse 9. I ain't finna close out yet. Look at verse 9. Alms do deliver from death and shall purge away all sin. Those that exercise alms and keeping the law, which is righteousness, shall be filled with life. But they that sin are enemies to their own life. You're an enemy to life, that means you're dead. Right? Satan is the enemy to life, so that's death. Christ represents life, Satan represents death. Right? In the context of things, right? This is why when the Most High first gave us the law, what did he say? He said, I set before you, man, let me just get it. The Most High said, I set before you this day life and death. I think that's in Deuteronomy chapter, I think it's chapter 30. He said, I set before you this, there it is, choose life. Look at that. Look at that. How about Shem Yahushua? Let me go and highlight that. I think it's about like 8-9 verses. Let me just highlight that. Look at that. Choose life. It's right there. Verse 15. Deuteronomy 30 and 15. See, I have set before you this day life and good and death and evil. We just read what life and good was. Pray, fast, alms, keep the law. That's it. Oh, it's hard. That's it. It's not hard. I had to show to somebody the other day, well, it's hard to keep the law. I said, man, have you read the law? Well, sister, have you read the law? Well, no. Okay, it's also in there. You ain't supposed to bang your cousin. Is that hard to keep? No. I said, well, when you say the law is done away, now you live in Alabama. It's free game. That we ain't got to do nothing but keep 10 commandments. I said, okay, well, go bang your cousin right now. Why not? Neither one of y'all married. You ain't committing adultery. Go marry him. Where in the 10 commandments is that wrong? And she had a problem with it. I said, well, you have a problem with it spiritually because the Most High came to us, the Hebrews. We know you ain't supposed to be messing with your damn cousin. We know things like this. Go molest a little child. Go let a 30-year-old get with your 13-year-old daughter, 12-year-old. Why not? Why not? Well, the Most High don't play that. She ain't even on no minstrel or nothing yet. Well, she no, get that out of here. Okay. I just close out on 16. And that I command thee this day to love Yahweh our power, to walk his, keep his commandments, that apply. This is real. If this was in high school or college, they would say, "What's life? What's death?" By the definition of this, I just went over. Your professor will mark that shit wrong. But when it comes to religion, our heads are so wrapped around skipping through the forest, picking up bunny eggs, and a fat white man in a red suit flying through the sky. Merry Christmas. No, like this is right here in front of us. And Yahweh thy power shall bless thee in the land where thou goest to possess it. Period. No matter wherever you are. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou will not hear. So if your heart turn away, so that you will not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them. That's Buddha. That's Muhammad. That's white Jeebus. I denounce unto you this day that you shall surely perish. What happened to us during slavery? Did we live or did we die? And you shall not prolong your days upon the land. Did we live or whether thou passest over the Jordan to go to possess it? When the Most High say something, it goes throughout all generations, all the 7 major captivities been in. He could say one thing. This is what a lot of people understand. The Most High could say one thing, but it means double. But then if it's a parable, guess what that means? That means it's 4. Let's get that real quick. I know I said I was going to close that. I don't care how long this is. So I guess it's a treat for those who hear it. I think that's Job. Salak, let me find it. I think it's Job. Maybe it's chapter 11. Con. So go to Job chapter 11. Right? And wisdom meaning you got to keep the law anyway. Job chapter 11, we start with verse 6. I started verse 5. But oh, that Yahweh would speak and open his lips against thee, and that he would show thee the wisdom. So he going to show you the secrets of the law. We just read out the law in Deuteronomy 30. We just read out the law. That's what wisdom is, right? He will show thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is. Know therefore that Yahweh exacteth of thee less than thine iniquity deserveth. So, example, the double, I already covered that part. So when the Most High say something or when things happen, they double than that would, meaning it's more than just what you think it is. Look, don't do this because of this. No, there's an ocean in the sea. Number the grains of sand that are in the sea. Like you think you me? Like the Most High have to humble people all the time. Don't bring his intelligence just because you can't fathom or think that far ahead. You don't limit the Most High. He can tell you, put a firmament around your house right now then. Oh, you can't? Yeah, I can. All right. And then when it talks about he punished us less than what our iniquity deserved. Just give an example. For the women, then the men. The women, a high body count to the Most High is more than 2. Just let that sink in. And you think he ain't punished none of our sisters more than what they deserve? No, he said, bro, I don't punish y'all what y'all should get. I should take y'all damn head off. I only been with 10, 8, 20, 30, some 50, 100. Yeah. And then the same for the men. Same for the first time we look at all the rappers. They don't want to put all them girls and stuff in the video. They could be edifying them. They could say, nah, man, put some clothes on. Nah, don't even come over here with your butt and all this out. The selling of the dope. The weed that is. Women are natural followers. All these strippers rapping and all these females are rapping. Why? Because they naturally following the men, dog. They naturally following us. Look at Cardi B and them, all them, and Glow Rid and all them. They all rap and try to act like dudes. They ain't trying to act like women. He don't punish us nowhere close to what we deserve. But remember, the Most High says with us, right? I want to say no matter what the Israelites do, but these other nations are so wicked. They're so wicked that the Most High says, yo, like, I'm mad at the wicked every day. The Most High says he's mad at them every single day. Keep that in mind. He's mad at them every day. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. Hopefully your brothers, few sisters been edified.